Sleeves through the Senior Pickleball Report powered by TNC Network. Let's get it going. Today in our People of Pickleball episode, we are speaking with Ryan Reeder, the man, one of the men behind G.O.A.T Paddles. Phenomenal paddle out of Florida. I did a review, which you can check out in the description as well. Ryan is an avid coach, great player, U.S. Open pickleball champion as well. And we sit down and talk all things pickleball, about G.O.A.T and where he sees the game going. He's been playing a while, and he's got a ton of skills and a great attitude. So looking forward to that. Check that out. But before we get to that, obviously, if you like this channel, consider subscribing to it. Check out all the links in the description for discounts. Check out our newsletter. Check out our merch page as well, and our new website. All right, let's get to that interview with Ryan from G.O.A.T Paddles. All right, from G.O.A.T. We got Ryan Reeder, one of the men behind G.O.A.T Paddles, and obviously a big background in pickleball, has won some major events. But before we get into that, we need to know how you got into the game, Ryan, and how did this game and when did it start to capture your imagination? Because you've done more than most. So talk to me a little bit about how you got into the game.
Man, well, thank you for the grand introduction, Sleeves. I mean, it's world class and one of the coolest dudes in the game, and I can already see you have the legendary status all around, brother. So. Man, I'm officially a Florida bro now, fresh off the courts, literally like maybe 5 minutes ago, getting some training in and just making moves. And, this game is unbelievable. I got into it just by luck. I mean, just by kind of fate, I guess, just living down in Florida. And this is maybe about almost 20 years ago, so it's just been a long time, but it's, man, I mean, it was a very quiet game, and it just like around rec centers or just like gymnasium floors. But I just got lucky moving down to Florida and just kind of pursuing life, making moves. And I was in line voting at some rec center, and these people are playing this game with like wooden paddles and just like having the best time ever. And I'm just like, man, I can't vote right now. I got to go check this game out. This is the sickest thing ever. And they're the coolest, and like handing me their paddles and say, try this out. And I'm fresh off college tennis. And man, that game like living out in Florida, it's like, I'm sitting here thinking like, how do I relate it to something? It's like football in Texas, it's just like a religion here. And it's, really grown all over the world. But man, just living in Florida and living the Florida bro life, I just was lucky to find the game. And man, it's just a life changer for real.
Yeah, so obviously you have a paddle sport, racket sport background, playing college tennis. Clearly, very high level player. I mean, nobody wins U.S. Open titles that are any sort of schmucks. So, talk to me about kind of the journey you took of getting to a point where you could compete and win some big titles.
Yeah, I mean, and thanks for the love on the Open, man. Big props to like my partner Brendan Long, who's pushing the Pro Tour, and man, it's like, I would say, man, it's just, the love of the game and just understanding like there's you can take it to so many levels. There's no limit with this game. It's funny, like I've got so many friends from all these years, and we sit back and even the ones from day one, like back when we're in the gym yelling that, you're a B player, you don't belong on the A courts, and you're like, it's just, funny how like it's changed. But it's like as time goes on, you learn, like, man, like you thought you knew everything, and then you look back, you're like, man, I knew nothing, and I was still a good player. So
I'm at that stage right now.
Yeah, I think the whole world's in that stage. It's funny to see like international pickleball and other pockets across the nation. I mean, it's such a cool game where it's like yoga. You never like master it, but you just keep learning, getting better, smarter patterns and awareness, and it's unbelievable. But it's just the people I feel like that you're around that push you, like G.O.A.T Paddle. We're a by players for players brand, and we live that. Like we live pickleball. Like I'm not like making this up. This is like what we do. We sweat every day. We're like, we get emotional over it, and we just love the the relationship capital of all the people. And, I think it's like who you surround yourself in the game of pickleball. Like, I think it's the coolest that you can create your own journey. Like, do I want to have fun, maybe be a rec player, lose weight, just laugh, blow off some steam, or do I want to go win gold medals and, be number one player in the world and get sponsorships and whatever. And it's like, and then there's everything in between of just like, dink and drinks. I'm sure there's dink and drinks all over these local courts. And it's just,
Oh yeah.
like the camaraderie, So I feel like who you surround yourself will allow you to kind of like, decide and dictate where you want to go. And then you just find like that system, like the Pickle family that just makes your life unbelievable. So maybe that's like the
Yeah, and
best.
obviously, yeah. I mean, you took the extra step, but a lot of people they don't take the step, not necessarily that they have to, but the step to create a business behind your passion, which is
Oh,
very obvious. And anybody that sort of pays attention to your world and watches any of your videos or has the privilege of playing with any of your paddles, you can feel what's gone into Goat, and you can see it firsthand if you're not there, but because of the social media presence that you have. So talk about like the steps and the idea behind getting into the paddle game, because that's no joke. There's some money involved with that, and you got your reputation on the line, and you've built a great company off that. So talk to me about deciding to go into a business with pickleball.
yeah, I mean, it's a good, good point. And there's like, listen, I'm for real, want to always be the most humble person ever. And like being able to do what you love for your business and drive some dollars and influence others and, make opportunities happen. It's like, I'm literally getting chills as I say this. And it's the coolest thing ever. And I feel like pickleball's given a lot of, people this opportunity to create something unique and really push as far as you want to go. And, that's just kind of our story is we just have lived this life, the whole Florida Bros and the group down here. I mean, there's so many names that people know that come from this area and just Florida in general.
Right.
And, like, I guess if I were to answer the question directly about the paddles, it was over a long amount of time of saying like, I wish this paddle had this, and why don't this one do this? And what if we could take this from here and this? And it's just like, we're just basically engineering the future of creating our own paddle and prototype. And, what do we like about it? Like, I mean, there's so many times that we would get a new paddle and just be like little kids on Christmas, just like hitting cool shots and be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like back, when carbon fiber was first introduced to the game, it
Right.
changed the whole like everything. I mean, like the
Yeah.
flicks and like Florida is always first strike pickleball. I mean, we wrote the playbook when it comes. I mean, our crew did that. Like literally, you
Yeah.
go back in time, we're just ripping balls at each other down here and like like $10 body shots, like, I mean, just kind of like we're just making some degenerate stuff up down here. But the answer,
Yeah.
it really is like, man, like there's a very specific feel to a paddle that allows you to play your style and do what you want. And even little details with like the grip, like the bevels on the grip and how it turns. But, just the littlest details that go the longest ways. And, it's been fun, working with like resources and materials and different
Yeah.
creative ideas of doing certain things. And also just watching the generations change. Like when I first started playing pickleball, you had to play like open to get the ball to go forward because
Right.
you couldn't really close the paddle. I mean, just because of the technology.
Right.
So it's the shapes of the ball have really changed. And goat paddle, like that's what we pride ourselves on. Is like just the grab of the ball, being able to like really shape the ball
Right.
with a lot of like my favorite type of attack is like a dip shot. So like it's all like we call it a
Yeah.
bait, like a Florida bro bait trap. Like you go lobstering down here, like you're a lobster, bro, and we're trapping you. It's like when the shot goes up and down so fast, like the dip of the ball. So like as you learn to shape
Right.
more and you use a goat paddle, you can experience that. So just little like for sure like pattern control and style of play and offensive pickleball. I mean, like we teach sniper school, so like we're trying to like
Yeah.
take control like the fifth shot out of the air and just certain goals to like help you be a better player. And Goat Paddle that's our vibe for real.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can check out my review, link down below in the description. I love the paddle. I play with it. It's one of the paddles that's always in my bag. And I think what I really enjoy, and I can tell I reviewed 56 paddles in 52 weeks last year. And
Wow.
when I get a paddle that somebody who actually plays at a very, very high level and coaches as well, you can tell. You can tell the ideas that went behind it. You can't always specifically go, oh, it's this, but you can tell that it is a quality paddle that looked at all the details. And so when I hit the goat paddle that I would, receive, I knew within about the first 5 minutes of just doing a basic wall drill, I'm like, oh, this is different. And you can tell because, like you mentioned earlier, you played with paddles and you get something, you go, God, I wish this was in there. And you built a selection, you built a catalog where people can go, okay, this is what my game is, and I can go look at this particular set of paddles that Go has to offer and get fitted for something that I like. And I think that's what's great. Not only did you build something decent and durable, you built choices for people, and that's a big deal because the game is ever evolving. Playing styles, their variety is endless, and it's cool that you can go to a site and go, okay, this may not be the one that I like, but let me see what else they have. And I think that's something that Goat can provide, which is
Yeah.
is essential.
Yeah, so like, and just real quick, I felt bad for that wall. I just watched the video review before we did this and jumped on call together, and I was like, man, I feel like that wall is going to be like the Berlin Wall and come down. Watching you hit that, man, like you're just destroying it, bro. Like I like it,
Yeah,
but
well, I play at the world's worst pickleball courts, so I have to go to the wall once in a while to get
yeah,
a true bounce.
I love it. I
And
love it.
I think if most people would come to the courts I play on, they would be appalled. But at the same time, when I do go to places and I play and conditions are adverse, they're not adverse for me
I can't wait.
because I'm
Like,
like, oh,
enjoy those
I have to get
times,
a
man.
bounce here.
It's going to be paved soon, so enjoy those times for like what you have, man. Look, a court is a court, and as long as you have the lines, man, that's so sick.
Absolutely.
And I know you
Yeah.
like
And
that.
that's the thing.
Yeah, you love it.
Yeah, we built a community around that because I live in the middle of nowhere off grid, and these are the only courts that are
Yeah,
available. We built, they were built 50 years ago. We put lines on them, and we have 20,
right.
25 people show up, and we have a blast. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And that's what I think that's what attracted me to you and your brand is when I watch your videos. God, I want to be in one of those sessions because just your attitude, first of all, without even saying it, and you mentioned it, is humility. And the second is it's very useful information. You kind of cut to the chase. So talk to me about your coaching style because you are an OG. You have seen this game, which we've talked about, just literally change dramatically in the way that we play it. And it's
It's
still
so true.
changing because the technology is changing. We have
Right.
not even close to solving this game. So
Yeah.
talk to me about your coaching style and the way you adapt and the way you draw people in because it's very it's hard to take eyes off of what you're doing.
Man, I appreciate you saying that, bro. And there's so many things I'm like, I gotta say this, and this is where I could go. But just, I guess I would say starting with a quick story. So, when my son was born, Zane, he's actually going to be 7 this weekend in a couple of days. We're going to do this big party for him. But when I found out my son was being born, I'm like, man, I better take life serious and go get certified to teach pickleball because I was doing like $30 lessons back in the day and driving like 40 minutes to a court. So man, I get it. And like, so I find out my son's going to be born. I'm like, man, like I got to get serious. So I like do this research on how do I get certified. And I end up finding some like credential or whatever. And I had to drive, I was living in Delray Beach, just the whole beach bro life with my girl and all that. And then I'm like, man, I got to get certified. So Naples was offering some program or whatever. So I reached out and whatever, and you had to come do like a hitting course, test, and then teach a lesson. So I drive over, and I'm in the middle. I'm doing my hitting, and then I'm teaching the pro at the time, like how I would teach. And then there's all of a sudden there's people that start hanging out on the fence, watching me do like my certification and then teaching this lesson. They're like taking notes and like their phones are out. And, like they were definitely taking notes though. But so I get done doing this thing, right? And like the guy's like, it's cool, whatever. And then like the guy that was running that facility comes up to me and was like, hey, like these people are asking me for lessons with you, and like, how would you like to be the director of this location? And I'm like, sounds great, let's do it. So and that was
Wow.
that was where the US Open is held every year. So it's like East Naples Park has like
Right.
65 courts or whatever. And
Yeah.
so like we look at we don't even look at like we don't even go look at places. We just book an apartment over in Naples and we move from Delray over to
Okay.
Naples, right? And like so my life it just
Yeah.
becomes, meeting all these members and teaching lessons like 9-hour days and like 20 plus days in a row, and just the grind of all grinds and just trying to figure it out. And it was the coolest thing, and just being with the heartbeat of the people at this facility, and
Yeah.
real relationships that friends I even have today. Like I just go hang out with and still, and this is like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something. Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So I have the opportunity to teach. And like, as you teach so many hours, like hours and hours and hours, you start developing new ideas in your own head. And you're like, maybe this works, maybe
Sure.
this doesn't work. And start being very creative with like just thoughts, like this should be a goal in the game. So I'd say like when we first started, playing, it was fast paced, but not as fast today. It was
Right.
definitely more like drop the ball, come in and like kind of resets, and I mean it was still very
Yeah.
like snap and firepower and driving the ball, but now it's just on a whole nother level. So I think just
Right.
over
Right.
time and like the skill of people, but really it's just like I feel like teaching you learn just if you allow yourself to kind of like take yourself back and just listen to what, like for me I always like to ask the people, hey, what are your goals, and like just like
Yeah.
what are you trying to get out of like training today, like what do you want to do basically. And everybody,
Right.
they always want to get better. There's never been one person that doesn't want to get better at pickleball, but I feel like
Right.
you've got to say like like what are your strengths, or like what do you struggle with, or talk me through some points, or what's your mind thinking here in this moment, or like how do you win,
Yeah.
just like where's offense coming from on the court, and how do we stop this pattern, and what patterns do you want to see come back to you from the other side of the net, and like just like whatever. So like but like as you just get on court and I feel like if you only have one shot with somebody, you really want to wow
Right.
them. So like back in the day when I had this boss, right, this guy that offered me this director job, he was like, hey, the one advice I have for you is don't give them so much information so that they come back for another lesson. And I was just like, well, I was like, bro, I was like, man, I was like, I'm cut from a different cloth. Like I just love the
Yeah.
experience, the levitating, the feel good. So, and for me, I like the almost like I call it like Navy SEAL pickleball training, where you like overload the brain and body to a point where they're there with you. It's like in the trenches, and you're like sweating, and your rate's going, and you're just like, I don't know if I can do another shot, and like, but you're just in that like that moment together where you're getting better, and there's no question, right? So like I like to give a lot of just like just thoughts or awareness, or push the brain. The
Yeah.
brain is, because it's chess. This game is a game of chess, and like depending on
Right.
where how well they understand the chess game, you can do really cool stuff in the coaching
Yeah.
aspect.
And I think that's what's great is a lot of us that get into this game, we're trying. I think we spend a lot of time, and not that it's not something you should spend time on, but we spend too much time sometimes on mechanics, and we think less about intent in what we're
Right.
doing with the
Yeah.
ball. And I think that's what I've really started to really find in my own game. And then when I came across you, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I definitely need. And what you're doing, I think, is even if you're not, at one of your clinics in person, which I'm sure is next level, you're even if you're watching, you're providing an experience. And I think when we we go through the sea of videos and instruction that is now out there. Certain things have to stand out, and one of them is obviously you can tell you have an absolute love for the game without actually saying it. Two, you're a super humble guy, and three, you bring something dynamic to the screen, even if you can't get there in person, that other people don't. You are good on camera, and you
Man,
know how to deliver information, and you're a hell of a player. And so those combinations are phenomenal. And you're an artist. You created a paddle company that is unique, and it has a very cool brand, and it has one of my favorite logos out there. It's clean.
that's
I
so
used
cool.
to milk goats when I first went off grid, so I'm like, oh hell yeah, this is great.
I
So
love it. I love it.
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
you kind of have the package going, and you're an OG, so you have the receipts, so to speak, which I really dig. That's a big deal for me because you've seen the changes and you've adapted to them. And so my last question for you, by leaving here, is two-part. What's coming down the pipe for G.O.A.T? Like, what are you guys working on? What's next for you? And where do you see this game going, good, bad, and indifferent, in the next few years?
Man, those are some awesome questions. It's like if I was in Congress, I could be a filibuster right now and just go on forever, right? Like say, how long does this podcast go? But man,
Doesn't matter, man. I have
so
no time.
man, listen. So Goat Paddle, we're very focused on like our vision and like development and just organic growth and like just like for real, like we are just a group of Florida bros that just love this game and we literally live by just wanting the next generation of pickleball to be better than where it is now and just develop the game. Like, there's this kid and his family I ran into and built this relationship. And this story's probably all across the nation, but they're literally selling their home in New York and coming down to Florida just to get some training in. And he really
Yeah,
wants to take his game to the next level. I'm like, man, I love that story because that's what
yeah.
Goat Paddle was created for, is to give more opportunities in business and athletic abilities and just even the rec player getting better and business opportunities and just a whole community. Like as I get older in life, I'm just so impressed by what community, like just not just locally, but like community, like even like where you're located, not in Florida, but we build our community through pickleball or internationally. And the power of it is just, it forever blows my mind. I'm so impressed by the pickleball community. I really am. It's just like takes me back to
Yeah.
speak on it because it's like, man, this is just the coolest, healthiest addiction ever. And it's like, thank God for pickleball.
Right.
Like, man, what a game.
Yeah.
It's just such an influence. So for Goat Paddle, we are just so focused. Like we just like got the coolest bags coming, right? Like we have like a tour
Nice
bag
back there. I see it.
right here. And then we have more of like backpack style come in that's just so sharp and
Yeah.
clean. So, I feel like just and then we have like our entertainment line, which we're excited about. It's like 90s skateboard deck. So we have like alien paddles
Right
on the
on.
and like anime and just cool paddle covers
Yeah.
and just which isn't really the pro line, but you get like the goal is it's like how would you say like welcome to the Goat Paddle family and like look, you get this cool entertainment which is like custom artwork style paddles that are just fun and they're still high quality and then you just love the game and then you're in and you're like, all right, well, what do these do? So and you
Yeah.
were
Keeping
talking
it
about,
fun.
yeah, absolutely. And like the series of like control or power or performance or just whatever
Yeah.
you want to do, but we just really like when I was like brand new in business and like I love entrepreneurship. It's my favorite. Like I
Yeah.
love pickleball. I mean, the only other thing that beats that is obviously being a father, and I love that. And then
Right.
entrepreneurship is like doing them both simultaneously has been just like unbelievable. But it's like, anything is possible, right? So it's like, what, what can we do to like give someone an opportunity by creating cool stuff that and have this cool
Yeah.
factor in the whole like bah like you should just yell that every day, it's just like so
Yeah.
I'd say that Goat Paddle is really focused on just creating cool stuff and just like adding and
Yeah.
building. At the same time, we've got some guys working hard to come up in the pro, like in the qualifiers and work towards main
Right.
draws. And I think just because we are like all about this game, like having a some presence on the pro tour. It's not everything to us, but it's like it's just
Right.
something cool to have. And like there's guys, I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
they're working hard. Everybody's working hard. The
Yeah.
qualifiers are no joke these days, and like even the main. I mean, then you get to the main draw, and I mean, it's just a real grind. I mean, and so Goat
Yeah.
we want to prove that we can have we're going to show up and show that we really are about it. So that's, I guess I'd say that's the vision for like where Goat Paddle is, and like just
Yeah.
over tying in connections. Like I'm just that's my favorite thing is like I just Goat Paddle's in over 40 countries right now, and it's all just off the connections from pickleball and just the hard work put in every day, and just like things like this, like the friendship level of this game it's just beyond
Right.
that, so
Insane. Yeah.
where the game's going, man, I just for me, I just like I'm I'm definitely on that vibe of once I feel like once the pro tour, like they can find a way to merge, right? And like I at the end of the day, I don't care what happens. I just feel like,
Yeah.
I'm a growth guy. Like I want the game to grow stronger than ever, right? Like international pickleball
Right.
is doing a lot. Like it's coming alive right now, but there can be more
Yeah.
done. I just had a really cool conversation with a guy in the United Kingdom near like Cambridge University. They're building like 10 clubs. And I'm like, that is so cool. Like in Jamaica,
Wow.
I'm talking to some of the homies down in Jamaica, the cool dudes, and
Yeah.
like just building the game, and they're so talented with like photography and just making things come
Yeah.
to life. And they have like over like 400 local players playing pickleball like daily. And I'm just like, this is so cool. And this is like what I love to hear, and what I feel like
Yeah.
allows us all to win together in in different types of ways. So I feel like one, I'd say like the pro tour game just continues to grow and becomes just like beautiful. I mean, even you watch the pro tour and like the graphics on the screen are becoming
Yeah.
more like tennis style, and it's just
Right.
like it's actually for a viewer experience, they're doing a better job, and they're only going to keep
Right.
getting better. And then I think just for me, I am obsessed with the rec game. Like just last night, I went to this local park, right? And it's just like, there's no good player. Well, I don't want to say that. That's not fair to say, but like, there's just not like,
Yeah.
it's not the highest level, but it's just the
Yeah.
camaraderie,
Right. Right.
like the coolest, like people. I mean, it's like a tailgating. It's the best vibe in all of the area, right? So I like just show up and
Yeah.
just hang out and just play, and just, man, it's like, and then you see all these indoor clubs are popping up. So I just think like full speed ahead, because like you said earlier, you're like, we haven't even figured this game out. And I feel like on the business technology side, and then just on like an overall, like as a whole, like the game is just, it's just, I mean, it's just blowing up. We're literally in like the gold mine rush right now, like Doyle
Right.
Brunson,
Exactly.
back when Doyle was playing Texas Hold'em in shootouts. We're like that, but with paddles, So it's like it's pretty
Right.
cool.
Right. Yeah.
So it's all
It is pretty cool, and I think that's the thing is you mentioned it several times in this interview, and I can tell that is the main sort of part of where you're at, and it's the community building, and it's unlike anything else. I mean, you played tennis, I played beach volleyball for 25 years, great game, but the community is nothing
it's so
even
cool.
close to what the pickleball community is. And you mentioned wait till this thing just explodes internationally. I don't think we've seen anything yet. I talked to Megan Fudge last year, and she played in the Indian Open, and she said, "Mike, you have no idea what's coming. Like these people
Wow.
are nuts over pickleball, and they're just getting into it." So yeah, once it explodes across Asia, Europe. I think we'll look back on days like this and go, "Wow, remember that? Remember when?"
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool. It's like, I mean, it's just so true, because it's like, I mean, all these places, like, I mean, Little Rock, Arkansas has an unreal community. I mean, just you can
Yeah,
name anywhere, like, I mean, it's just what a cool thing. And like it's interesting. Like as you get older in life, it's like you really want to think you still have friends like that. You call them like, hey, you want to go play? You know, it's like, and without pickleball, it's like, what do you even say that you're like, it's like, I mean, it's like now you're just hitting these people up
I
and it
know.
can be, you're like, you want to go play today? And you're like, and it's just like, I mean, it's like, it's so magical for like life and just the people. And like, you really do like, I mean, I've got friends from like a decade ago and I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, and it's just so fun to watch the growth and just, you know, really help each other out. And then we just all get to play this awesome game. So it's really cool.
Absolutely. And on that note, thank you for your time. Folks, get your goat paddle. Link in the description. Find Ryan online, all the socials down below as well. And if you can't get a lesson in person, watch his instructional videos and you will be hooked, I guarantee. Thanks, Ryan. OG, US Open champ, one of the men behind Goat Paddle. Appreciate your time, sir.
Hey, thank you, brother. Awesome. Bah!
Ah.
All right. See you, bro.
Hope you enjoyed our interview with Ryan Reeder from Goat Paddles. Great guy. You get down in that area, look him up. He is a ton of fun and very enthusiastic. Heck of a coach, heck of a player. Great company. All right, folks, you know what to do at the end of the day. Let's pickle.